Carrie and Tommy will launch in just a second to brighten your day. With CommBank Yellow, you get discounts and exclusive experiences. More recognition for you and benefits for your business too. Say hello to CommBank Yellow today.
It's the one and only
Carrie Bickmore.
And Tommy Little.
This
Is Carrie and Tommy.
Yeah, welcome to another Carrie and Tommy podcast. How are you guys?
Oh, up and about. It's time game day. Very exciting because...
Do you know, sorry, I was just laughing because I was at my daughter's, I was thinking to myself, I was at my daughter's ATHS, both daughters' ATHS competition this morning. And it's funny when you see your child do well at something, immediately you start to think, did they get that from you? What
Maybe you could
will
tell
be
us
your
what
retirement plan when they're a champion runner or tennis player?
No, not running. You've got to push them into something where there's more money. Tennis, golf.
Is that the only two options I've got?
In terms of money, yeah.
Oh, tennis,
but
because
what
I
about-
always...
Because
I
what's the
always
math
had
on
visions
the
of being-
2032 Olympics? It's a home Olympics.
Oh, how old would she be then?
You think
7, how?
She's 6 now.
Yeah, my maths isn't great. Do they let 13-year-olds?
13. It's a bit young.
Yeah, it's a little bit
But
young.
I could take her and really fuel the excitement.
Yeah.
Where's the
I
next
just-
one? Mama would like a holiday too. Where are we going?
Yeah.
I just think
I
you've
don't
got
know.
an uphill... I think putting a young white kid in sprinting, I think you've got an uphill battle. That's why I'm saying tennis or golf. Heaps coming up on the show. We have amazing special guests joining us later in the show. But up next, because I don't normally do this, but I am asking the big questions up next. And if you want to know what the big questions are, stay tuned.
Carrie and Tommy.
It's Carrie and Tommy for your Wednesday, are they?
And because I promised that I was going to ask the big questions. Are you ready for the big question for today? What are men doing with their skinny leg jeans now?
Well, I know what women are doing. Ours are just in the back of the drawer for when they come back out again. In fact, I think I still wear mine a lot of the time. They're such a staple.
But women can they? I feel
I think
like
anything goes for women. Yeah, for men, it's a noticeable difference when the fashion changes from a wide to a skinny and back to a wide.
I look back because obviously skinny leg jeans were a thing and now they're not. And I look back at old stand-up clips where I'm wearing the skinniest jeans and it just reminds me, you know that photo of the pug?
Oh my God, that's the first thing I just thought of then.
Yes,
was
on
the
net,
pug.
and it says,
Yeah.
This is what men look like in skinny leg jeans. It's just his dumpy little pancake ass, and then just down to these tiny legs.
So they were the ones with the nut hole, weren't they? You
Sorry?
had multiple pairs. You would come in that you just wouldn't get new pairs. You just keep wearing the ones as they ripped apart on you.
Yes, I filmed a stand-up special where you can see my whole legs, like the whole front of the jeans were like ripped out.
So I don't think. So when
Yeah.
you ask what men are doing, they're for the bin.
Yeah, but if he wasn't going to throw them away when they were in fashion, like he's probably
Yeah.
not going to throw them away
True.
now.
I've got a whole like drawer full of skinny leg jeans. Are you wearing yours, Jess?
Nah, not anymore. But I think about when I look at them and see them in the cupboard, I'm like, do I throw them?
No, I keep them. I just keep everything because it all comes back around again. I'm wearing clothes. The other day, actually, to your party when we all went to your 40th, I wore an outfit that I've had since 2002.
A Teletubby costume.
No, not that one. Not that one. The bit where people would dress normally at first, I've had for over 20 years. My mum used to do that. She kept, she'd wear the same clothes. She'd buy lovely stuff and then she'd just wear it for decades.
But I don't think a lot of stuff doesn't come back.
It does. What doesn't come back? You know what? My son walked in the house the other
Stud-up
day.
pants. They've never come back.
What? Which ones?
Stud-up pants.
They're Adidas have got these wide leg ones I'm wearing at the moment, and they're 2 styles away from having studs.
But then,
Oh, you reckon they're coming back?
Yep, they're coming back.
I'm
So
still-
my
I'm still
son walked in
scarred.
the other day with wearing these wide leg cargos, and then I said to him, "Did they? Oh my gosh, Ollie, they're the ones that zip off at the knee." And he goes, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, they become shorts." And he goes, "That is so cool." And I thought, when did cargo pants that zip off at the knee become cool again?
I don't think they did. And certainly not again.
Did anyone ever zip them off to make them shorts? Like, would you be out and get hot and make them a short and then carry around the bottoms of the legs?
Fellow comedian Dave Thornton and I went on a hike together, and he loves he's had 3 options.
What?
So you could
What, like a
you could
capri?
unzip to like a 3/4, and then it would go right up to like quite a short, and he
A
loves them.
short.
Yeah, called him very versatile.
So what are you rocking at the moment? Just a straight leg? Or a chino? What
I
is
just
it?
realised I'm wearing skinny.
Show, what are you wearing today? No, they're not too, but they're more of they're a drop crotch.
Oh.
A drop. They were around a while ago.
Should we talk about worst fashion phases that you've been through? And I say this, hand on heart, I've done some of the worst ones. As a white kid with dreadlocks at the age of 14, you haven't seen someone go through worse fashion phases than me. I used to make my own T-shirts, and so I would spray paint them. And so I would go out to nightclubs stinking like spray paint because I just painted my own T-shirt that day.
I mean, yeah, we all made. Remember, I made my ball dress, and I made it out of velvet, silver swirls. And my date said that I looked like his grandma's couch. Back in the day, we had to make our own clothes. That's what we did, we were
Why
cool.
aren't kids greasy anymore?
I know they're not.
I was so greasy. I was like my face was wet.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Not much has changed, to be fair with you.
It looked like, a fish and chip bag?
Yes.
How it goes see-through from all the grease? That was like my head.
No, but we've talked about this before, and I'm not going to do it because it makes me feel so old and boring. But teenagers these days do not look like the teenagers of any generation before. They all look like what we all hoped and finally got to at some point in our life as adults. They look by the time they're 14.
13, 10, 60. Are you up for
What
doing...
are you laughing
Are
at?
you up for doing worse?
Why are you laughing?
What do you mean? Because you're funny.
Oh.
Why am I not allowed to laugh
I
when
thought
you
you
say...
were laughing at me like... Anyway, yeah. I
Get
felt
out of
there
your
was
own
more
head,
to-
mate.
Oh, you can talk.
Oh, this is turning into a real... This is real, isn't it? Don't just go to writing something on
What?
the paper now.
I'm not.
We're on air.
I'm waiting for you to say what you want people to call about.
Sorry, I was in the middle of doing
on with
that
it.
until you stopped me and went, why are you laughing? What's funny? 13 10 60. Is Carrie in a mood?
No,
Give
I'm
us
not.
a call. I'd love to know if Carrie's in a mood because she sounds
No,
to me like
I'm
she's
not
moody.
in a mood. Can we talk
And
about
so
fashion? I want to know
I just got told you're colouring in over there. Are you an adult that's colouring in? 13 10 60. Call with questions for Carrie and let's work
I'm
out
not in a
together
mood.
if she's
no,
in a mood.
No,
Give
let's
us a call.
talk fashion.
Carrie and Tommy.
Barry and Tommy, if you Wednesday Arvo, and if you win the time game a little bit later on, it would improve your mood, but I don't know if it'd improve the mood in here.
Did you say
I
did you say Carrie or did you say Moody and Tommy?
The only thing that's going to get me in a mood is
We
if
could
you
call you
keep
Peter.
talking about the fact that I'm in a mood that I'm absolutely not in. I just thought you were laughing at me, so I was asking what you were laughing at.
I was laughing because you were being funny.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm not in a mood,
But you're not
though.
being funny now.
I just want to talk about fashion.
G'day, Michelle.
Hi, how you going?
I'm fine. But what do you think about Carrie's mood?
I wanted to talk to Carrie about fashion.
Thank
let's-
you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Yes. What fashion do you want to
No,
chat
sorry,
about?
we've lost her. I'm so sorry.
No,
G'day,
I
Matthew.
wanted-
Yes.
Is Carrie in a mood?
Yes. I just feel like she sounds a bit off. That's why I was ringing. I listen every single day, and just today she doesn't sound quite right. I'm just
What?
going to ring to see if she's gone all right.
And it's not even Menopause Monday, which we do celebrate on this show.
No,
because it's
menstrual
important.
Monday. I'm not at menopause yet. It's menstrual Monday.
Is it that we've missed the last two R&B Fridays?
Yeah.
Holidays?
Yeah, it could be. Is it not enough R&B in your life?
No,
Carrie?
actually, I think one of our producers has hit the nail on the head. I'm the only woman in a room full of annoying men.
That's because you kicked the other two women out there.
No, they're answering the phones.
You said there's only one hen in this hen house.
Our
and
show
then
is sexist and we put the women on the phones.
Our show can't be sexist. You're the boss.
That's true. Paving the way.
Pull
See, if
the
I
ladder
was a
up
male
behind
boss,
you.
you just say that I was, like running the joint
Okay,
on
Taylor
fire. But
Swift.
because I'm a female boss, you're saying I'm moody because I'm being assertive. It's not fair, see?
Oh, sorry.
It's tough to be a woman.
I just learnt before. Don't laugh at anything you say because it'll be read the wrong way.
Dylan, are you here to talk fashion?
No, you're in a mood.
Fiona, are
No,
you
no,
here
no,
to
no. I want to talk to Dylan. Dylan, do you have any questions you would like to ask Carrie? Would you like to get to the bottom of why she's in such a mood?
Maybe today's Wacky Wednesday.
Wacky Wednesday.
I do have a headache.
It could be Wacky
I'm
Tobacco
quite
Wednesday.
tired, but I'm not in a mood.
Have you been hitting the...
No, I've talked to you about that. Stop saying that. I don't.
Oh, maybe it's Wednesday.
Is it WhatsApp Wednesday?
Fiona.
Hey, do you want to give Dylan a WhatsApp?
No, I
before we let him
don't.
go?
Fiona.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Dylan.
My gosh, people are calling up. Holly said, is Carrie okay? I'm fine. Coca, I think she's in a mood because she's embarrassed about her old clothes. I'm not in a mood. Fiona.
Hey, Carrie, you're in a standard mood. Like, I wake up like this, mate. Like, dead set. Like, if you're like, I live in a whole house full of my boys, and if they're not like...
Yeah,
I'm not you, Fiona.
She makes a good point. Oh, now you're turning on the sisterhood.
She
Careful,
sounds
Fiona,
like
you're gonna
she's
end
in
up
a
on the
mood. I'm
phones.
not.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I definitely am. 100%, 99.5% of the time.
Yeah.
But, you know, you get there.
Yeah. So, Fiona, what advice do you have to get Carrie out of this slump?
Get medicated.
Yeah, there you go.
Carrie and Tommy.
Around Australia, if you drive home the Sabo, it's Carrie, Bickmore and Tommy Little.
With CommBank Yellow, you score even more. More recognition for you and benefits for your business too. It's their way of thanking you for banking with CommBank. Ongoing eligibility and T's and C's apply.
Carrie and Tommy's live for free.
Carrie and Tommy's live for free.
Now that we've got Carrie and Tommy's live for free.
How good, because a year's worth of free fuel.
I've read so many of the entrants of people and why they want free fuel and what?
I don't think you meant to.
What do you mean?
Are you?
Yeah, I'm allowed to see the people that want the free fuel.
Why do you dig into everyone's story so much?
Because they write to us about what they need and they're beautiful people. That one woman's got 6 kids. She's from a huge family.
But
She's
Carrie,
trying to...
don't say this, because now if she doesn't get it.
But
it's just
hopefully,
like
across each day, over the next few weeks when we're doing Live for Free, we can make these people's lives better.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
That's nice for me to read what they want to do.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, you don't want to hear about them? Sorry, guys. And he doesn't want to hear about your lives. I do. So keep the emails coming in. Here's my personal email.
By email, we mean download the listener app and search Carrie and Tommy.
That is what you do.
I'll get my PA to handle them.
So
The faxes.
all you have to do is, if we call you, you have to answer with yellow. Are you ready to dial? Jess?
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
See, this is what I meant, Carrie. You've just told a heartbreaking story about someone now who hasn't won.
I know she wanted to do...
Don't do more.
Okay. Let's try. I've got next one. Yep.
Yellow?
There was a slight stumble there. Is that Lisa?
It is.
Lisa, can you just confirm, what did you...
It was a yellow. I actually had I put a whole Mars bar in my mouth and I was chewing it as you called. So that's why there was a stumble. I was trying to swallow and say
Lisa,
it
the
at the
phone
same time.
didn't even ring on our end. You were so...
Was it a mini or a large Mars bar?
Yeah. Oh no, it was actually one of my kids. I shoved it in quickly before he could see, so I didn't have to share.
Lisa, I love your honesty so much. And it gives me great joy to say you are one step closer to a year's worth of free fuel.
Great, thank you so much.
Lisa,
that's awesome.
What would it mean for you to have a year's worth of free fuel? What would you do with it?
Oh, look, I think I would probably divert that money to a holiday.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Is it true at the moment you're working 2 jobs?
Yeah, look, to be honest, that's part of why I work 2 jobs, so I can have some fun in life. Otherwise, we would just only pay bills. And I love traveling, and I think there's more to life than just rocking up to work every day. So I'm trying to give my child the best of both worlds whilst I'm secretly eating all of his
chocolate. Well, we love single mums on this show, Lisa. You're doing an amazing job.
Awesome.
Yes, we hope to be calling you on Friday.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon.
You too, Lisa.
We're going to make some more calls tomorrow, so make sure you download the listener app and register. With CommBank Yellow, you score even more recognition for you and benefits for your business too. It's their way of thanking you for banking with CommBank. Ongoing eligibility and T's and C's apply.
Yellow.
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
Carrie and Tommy driving you home for your Wednesday arvo. Coming up after 4 o'clock, the time game is back.
Yes, Carrie's just made a revelation, though, off air. She's considering going back to school.
No, I just said, if you never completed school, can you go back to a school as an adult and complete school? Like, can a 30-year-old go back and do year 10 onwards?
Also, you realise you are just pitching Billy Madison, the movie.
I know, but that's a movie. I'm asking in real life. Like, how do people then complete their year 12 if they didn't? They just do a course outside. if they want to do it.
Yeah, Sammy?
There is apparently mature age state schools that you can go to as a mature age student.
They're all mature age, though.
Yeah.
So it'd be like being at a uni.
So you can go to TAFE and you can go to university, but you can't go to a normal primary school with 12
I mean, I know it would be weird, but I just wondered whether...
It'd be
At what age are you no longer allowed to be at school?
Oh, like if you get
skip
held
a
back
few-
in year 12.
Yeah, how many times... Like, can they have a 21-year-old at school?
It's interesting.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I don't know. But it would be annoying because when I was at uni, the mature age students asked so many questions.
Yeah.
They were always up the front, like hand up.
You're like,
straight
we'll
away.
get through this shoot in like maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Supposed to go for an hour, but we could get out of
Yeah.
here early.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you can't.
Oh, no, Gavin's got questions.
Yeah. Oh, brutal.
Sorry.
Our audio guy, Gavin.
Our audio guy, Gavin, is just sitting
He
out
does
there.
have
That was
questions
not
now.
And he's
targeted.
behind the glass, so he
That
can't
was
even
not-
ask a question.
Jeez, you can flip the bird, though.
What did you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Mount Fuji.
I did a school report on Mount Fuji.
What'd you write?
In fact, when I saw the news story that I think you're going to talk about today, I was like, oh, I've been there. And then I realised I hadn't. I'd just done
Lots about it.
a big A3 poster on it.
What were some of the
I
facts?
remember something to do with the cherry blossoms.
Are they on Mount Fuji?
I feel like, was it an active volcano at some point?
Don't the cherry blossoms
don't know,
only
I'm just making stuff up
bloom
now.
for like a very
Yes.
super brief
It
period?
depends on the wind.
Ah.
Because they're very delicate. So when they come out, they can last weeks. But if you have a windy day when they come out, gone.
What do you mean? How quickly?
Like if
Well,
they get a
correct.
strong wind.
Literally in a day, the cherry blossoms that people have waited a year for can go.
Yeah, don't fact check it, but I think. A Chinese student visiting Japan had to be rescued from Mount Fuji not once, but twice, Carrie.
Why? What did he do?
So-
it is an active volcano. I thought so.
So he got
Funny things you remember from. year
Well,
six.
is it active? Because it last erupted in 1707.
Still counts.
Yeah, if I did something in 1707, I'm not claiming I'm still doing it.
What were
if
you doing
want
in
to say
1707?
you've got an active life. When was the last time you had?
1707.
When was the last
Are
time you had to have had
describing-
action?
Are you describing
300 years ago.
Also, are you describing your sex life as a volcano erupting
Hot?
and just people fleeing?
A lot of lava flowing.
Sorry,
Covered in
Just think
snow?
of volcanoes.
hang on.
I haven't put the
Sorry,
two
let's
two.
stop down for a second.
Snow-capped
No,
peak?
we
What do you
can't.
mean?
No.
What's the lava in your
Oh,
analogy?
people are climbing it all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
taking photos.
Yeah, lots of tourists.
oh, it's made up of 3 overlapping volcanoes: Komitake, Go Fuji,
Carrie.
and Fuji.
You came
It was
very close to
brave.
putting on a questionable accent then that I was not going to wholeheartedly
So what happened to him?
endorse.
Why did he have to be rescued twice?
So he went up and he got altitude sickness. So he had to get airlifted out, right? And then he realised when he got airlifted out, I've left my phone up there.
No.
At the top?
Yeah,
Was he at the
a
top?
27-year-old. He was, doesn't say exactly where he was, but he realised his phone was up there, so I better go back up and get my phone.
What? Just get someone to bring it down.
No, he didn't. He just thought, I'll
So did
I'll
you
just
get
go get it.
altitude sickness again?
Yeah. He goes, you won't believe what happened.
No, that's so
Did
funny.
you say what a knob?
Yeah, like an idiot. What a no.
Well, can we have a weekly segment called Carrie's What a Knob?
Isn't it like what you used
Between
to?
this and your hot lava flow.
Yeah.
And your mood from earlier.
I'm
You have
not
me
in a mood.
Sounds moody. 13,
I will
10,
erupt soon if you keep pushing my.
I don't even know what
Harry-
that means
Harry,
anymore.
You can't just say that after you've said it was your sex
Yeah.
life.
I hope she's going to get angry.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
otherwise.
I know. What are you doing in the corner there? Just minding my own business.
So why?
It's a
Where had he
workplace.
left his phone? Why couldn't somebody just bring it down? I don't understand.
Well, he had altitude sickness, so I'm guessing he wasn't.
Oh, he's a
in
bit delirious.
Yes.
Mm.
I want to know on 131060, and I get that maybe this will get no one, but I would love. What's happened, Karen?
Are you
My
sending
phone's ringing from
messages?
Yukon, Canada.
Oh, it could be that Prince. It needs money.
Oh, I need to sleep.
131060. Has anyone been rescued twice? Because people get rescued from situations.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah.
But have you gone back to the scene of the crime and gone,
It would be infuriating as the search and rescue people. There must be search and rescue guys out there, or like, the voluntary guys that have to go save people only to find them back in the same position.
I'm sure in Bondi Rescue sometimes there is people that they drag in and then they literally go,
true.
thank you, and walk back out into the surf wearing jeans. 13 10 60. Have you been rescued twice? Give us a call.
Carrie and Tommy.
It's Carrie, Bickmore and Tommy Little.
What's Azizam again?
We talked about it. It is
My love, I think.
my love.
My
in
love.
Turkish? No, in
Persian.
Persian.
Isn't it great that people get to listen to our show as we mentally degrade and forget all the things that we've talked about? I'm going to then talk about them again. We are talking about right now when you've been rescued twice, because there was a climber on Mount Fuji, a Chinese tourist, 27 years old, who went up, got altitude sickness, had to be airlifted out, realised he'd left his phone up there, so climbed up to get it and got altitude sickness again and had to get rescued again.
Do you know, it makes me laugh. It's not funny for my uncle, but my uncle gets terrible altitude sickness.
Is this the world champ?
Not him, another uncle. But his job for most of his life has been to take people on treks up mountains.
What do you mean?
So like he'll go Kokoda, or he'll do Kilimanjaro, or he'll do whatever.
And
But
he
he
gets
gets
out?
terrible altitude sickness.
Really?
Yes.
So his guide is just, he goes, you go. You go ahead.
But it's that same thing of just stop.
Stop doing it, yes.
But sometimes it's like, no, I'm going to overcome this.
Do you know
this
what
guy
they-
needed his phone.
Do you know what they do? I find this fascinating. It might bore you to tears. I'm sorry if it does. But there are people who join the Air Force who get like motion sick from flying planes, like when you're doing flips and barrel rolls and stuff like that. And so to get over it, they put them in a chair and they literally spin you to the point
Like you're
that-
playing
that
at work when you're bored.
till you spew, and they do that 3 times a day for 2 weeks, and then you're fine.
Wait, is everyone fine after that?
Everyone's fine after that. Yes, if you
That's crazy.
if you can get through it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You reckon?
Yeah.
Oh,
I reckon
yeah,
there'd
okay.
surely be people who get to
Imagine
a
rocking
week
up
and
to
a
work
That room.
knowing each day that you.
Yeah,
Oh.
and the walls of that room just painted in vomit.
I know. And 3 times a day.
Yeah, come on, time for another
Georgia, when were you rescued twice?
Oh, it wasn't me. It was my husband. We were snorkeling around a shipwreck at Tangalooma, and he went in the water. And there are lifeguards that kind of cruise around to rescue people. And the tide has taken him out, and he's been brought back to us. Like, it's a bit of a walk of shame if you're on the back of the
Right.
their boogie board on the back of the jet ski, and he gets back on the boat, and he might have had a bruised ego because he decided to go in again to like beat the water. I don't know what his thoughts were. And he jumps back in to have another go and redeem himself, but
And he had to get saved again.
saved again.
my
And it's
God.
just like, imagine like a full grown in his snorkels and he's waterlogged. And he got banned from the water after.
What was he like, Georgia? Like you said, he had a bruised ego after the first time. What was he? Was he sheepish after the
I
second
think
time?
he tried to blame. He was like, "Oh no, the bit I was in was really rough." But there are other people out there, like there are children out there not getting rescued.
Oh,
That's so good.
Good on you,
Thank you,
Georgia.
Georgia. G'day, Jem.
Hello.
What happened?
I didn't get rescued, but I've left my phone in an Uber twice in one day.
Twice in one day.
not the same Uber though.
No, thank goodness, not the same Uber, but the first time took 6 hours to get it back.
God.
Oh, and then you did it again.
And then what happened?
And then I did it again.
How did you do it again?
Well, I just had it. I had so many bags with me. I thought it was in one of them. I kept searching. It wasn't in any of them.
How long? You said 6 hours for the first one. How long for the second one?
10 minutes, thank goodness.
Oh.
They realized, they saw it there and turned around and came back. But it was highly shameful in my friend circle for a very long time.
It's so much better now that there's Ubers, because with taxis, the chance of ever getting them back, because you didn't obviously be able to track where they'd gone, and then you were calling a lost property, and half the time they never went there.
100%.
Yeah.
I just realised I had the same hostie on a flight. I got off the flight and I realised I'd left my book. I always leave a book like in the pocket or above. And I left my book and I said to the hostie, I said, "Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I've left my book on the plane. And he goes, no worries, I'll go get it. You've just got to wait here. And then the next time I saw the hostie, he goes, I was getting off the plane, and he goes, Tommy, remember me? And I said, oh my gosh, you're the beautiful man who got my book. And he goes, yes. And I looked down and I went, oh no.
And
he
your
goes,
book again.
He goes, you've done it again, haven't you? And I went,
Is
yeah.
that the Fourth Wing stuff? Because that book's hard to lose. It's enormous. It's like 5 books in one.
Don't worry.
Where are you putting it? Behind the seat pocket?
I've also once left the airport and got home and realised, I had bags. It happens. G'day, Nick.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Yeah, living the dream. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Did you get rescued twice?
I did, actually. When I was living in Sydney, obviously travelling home from work, I had to go along the M4. Absolutely punting down with rain one afternoon, and ended up getting rear-ended. And I got hit that hard that I hit the car in front of me.
Oh.
Now, I was only in a single cab ute, so I got hit that hard that I was pretty much sort of trapped behind the wheel because I'm a taller bloke, so
Yeah.
my knees were like sort of up on the dash. So I couldn't really get out.
Yeah.
Ended up getting pulled out, done the tests in the back of the ambo. They said I was right to go, obviously get someone to pick me up. So I got my partner to pick me up, and we were rear-ended not even 5 minutes later.
Oh, my
gosh.
Oh, that's not funny, is
I
it?
mean, for
Why
some
am I
people's
laughing?
day, getting rear-ended twice is quite a good thing.
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
It's Carrie and Tommy.
Time, bovine, banana, bovine, bee fly, mine. Time game. Carrie and Tommy's time game.
Oh, it's very good to be here.
you old guys again.
Yeah, we're Boffins. Are you a Boffin, Carrie?
Where do you work?
Are you often a
At the
Boffin?
Weather Bureau.
Are
Where
you
are
often a
working?
Boffin?
No,
We're just
no, Boffins, we do research. We're very clever gentlemen.
Yes. Do you want to be clever?
Weather Bureau has research.
Do they? Oh.
I've
never worked there.
Lick my finger, hold it up, it's windy. Oh, good job.
Oh, there's some
chaps.
weather about today.
Oh, God, weather, as usual. Anyway, are you a Boffin?
No, I'm not a Boffin.
Why not?
Oh, so disappointing.
Why nothing? Why nothing?
I think Boffins are men, aren't they?
No, women can be
Gary,
clever
it's
too,
2025.
No, I just mean you don't call them Boffins,
Not all
do you?
the smart
Obviously
ones have
not
to be
a Boffin.
men. It was actually quite a dumb and ignorant thing to say. Actually, I think
Can someone Google, can women be Boffins?
I think women can be whatever they want.
Sarah,
to be.
do you think women can be Boffins?
I have absolutely no idea. I
No.
don't really know what a boffin is.
No.
Sarah, are you a Boffin?
No, I'm more a bogan than a boffin.
I think you can be both. I think
A Bergen Boffin.
A Bergen Boffin. That sounds jolly good, doesn't it?
Bogfin.
Yes, yeah, Bogfin.
It sounds like a very different thing.
Smash down a Bundy and Coke and then write a thesis. It sounds quite a smashing time. Sarah, are you ready to play the time game?
I'm ready.
Okay, so here's how it works. My boff mate here,
Yes.
this chap, he's a portly fellow. Actually, he's stacked on a few
He's
kilos.
got gout,
Yes.
Do you have gout?
Yeah, it's all the red wine. It is from a goon bag, though, because we're Bogfins.
We're Bogfins.
Yeah.
God, I hope to get gout one day. It's a sign of a life well lived.
Sarah, have you got gout?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sarah just wants to play the game.
Sarah, what's gout about?
I don't know. I think it's something to do with your feet,
Yeah.
needing prawns and tomatoes or something.
Oh, prawns and
Prawns and
tomatoes.
tomatoes.
My
Is
two
that
favourite
right?
things together are love.
Ah.
I always have a nibble on a vine-ripened tomato and then throw down a prawn tail as a chaser. Sarah, what you have to do here is my friend, let's call him Henry.
Okay,
Can
but
we
my
just
name's
start playing
Darren.
the game?
My name's Kyle.
Kyle.
What's your name, lady?
Me. I just want to play the game.
Me?
Me. Hi, me. So, hi, me. Hi, me. Hi, me's funny. Oh, blimey.
Sarah.
It's hi, me.
Jesse's going to say start. You say stop at exactly 5 seconds and the $200 is yours. Are you ready to play?
I'm ready to play.
Start.
Stop.
That felt bloody quick for my liking.
Felt much quicker than this segment's going.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Oh, this is going on too long.
What's going on too long?
How did Sarah
Why do
go?
women always say that to me?
How did Sarah go?
They just want in and out
Can
and
somebody-
on to the next
Can
one.
somebody
And I'm here.
research that statement
And
for us?
I'm here to get attached and make an everlasting connection. And then I just get off me, Rupert. That's what they say to me. And I say, my name's not Rupert. And they said, I don't care, you stunning hunk of man meat. Get out of my house.
How did
and I
Sarah
said,
go?
You invited me over and it's my house.
Sarah asked them to stop because I'm having no luck.
I know, and I just am really in suspense. How did I go?
4.81.
Another
To
one
be
bites
fair,
the dust.
so I was on Team Sarah, but she's got to tell her voice to share her excitement because when she said, I'm really in suspense, so how did I go? Was she being sarcastic? Or was
doesn't
that
matter,
her
she's
suspenseful
dead now.
voice?
He is dead now. And it always happens. There's always a moment in time where Carrie turns on our wonderful listeners.
Samantha, I
Good
promise
luck.
not to turn on you.
Oh, hello.
Yes, hello.
Well, I know if you're going to
Another-
also do the bloody
A
voice.
fellow Boffin. You said you
Yes.
promised not to turn on her.
So
Maybe you
I
turned
read up
forward.
about
quickly.
boffins because
Yeah.
I'm smart.
Did you do some research?
Apparently,
Someone's a boffin.
boffins can be men or women, but in many studies
Yes, we
that have
believe
been
they
done by boffins,
Many studies.
Yes.
Not womany studies.
the majority of people think that boffins are men, not women.
Who's the majority of people?
Not
Take part
not
in the
I.
study.
Not I.
And they don't have a specific accent.
What do you mean?
They just all sound different.
You don't sound like anything. Samantha, you ready to play?
Sure am.
Start.
Stop.
Oh, I felt good. That felt good. I felt that right in my a graduate
thesis.
degree. Yes.
And your PhD.
Oh, someone's
PhD.
trying a voice. Welcome to the
she's-
party.
She's in.
Off in.
Yes.
Off in. Yeah, I thought that
Right.
was clever.
Yes.
Really went above the heads of some of the numbskulls in here. Anyway, how did Samantha go?
5.
Yes, that's good.
Point.
Oh, jolly good.
5-2.
Oh.
And she plummets to her death. G'day, Kelly. G'day.
Hello, Tommy.
Oh, hello, Kel. Kel, you sound like such a sophisticated woman, Kelly. It's so nice to have some intelligence in the room, Kelly.
I know, Tommy. I was just listening to you thinking exactly the same
Yes.
thing.
Gosh, we should get together and do some crocheting or something like
I
that.
reckon boffins crochet.
Hey?
They don't
No, I have
crochet.
people for it.
Kelly, what's your area of research?
My area of research is botany.
Botany.
Whoa, I thought-
I love a woman with a beautiful botany. Kelly, are you ready to play?
Fantastic, Tommy. I am ready.
Start.
Stop.
Oh, that did feel pretty good. And I tell you what, my friend Gunther over here has almost kicked his chair out from the table. What are you searching for there, chap?
Oh my gosh.
This is
It's
$200
going to go
on
off
the line.
again.
You know what? You know why?
Why?
Because she sounds very intelligent. And she sounds at one with time. Kelly, we only hear this noise when it's awfully bloody close. And
Do you have one of
$200
those
could be-
watches? You know, the ones that you attach?
Oh, a pocket watch.
A pocket watch. The
No,
boffins often
no.
have.
Oh, no, Kelly doesn't have a pocket watch.
Oh.
No.
Or a,
No,
what are
I
the big
w-
clocks.
Yes, I wear one round my neck like Flavor Flav. Yes. Kelly, for $200, all you need here is 5.00. Winston,
Yes.
how did Kelly go?
4.95.
Oh, bugger.
Yeah.
Bugger indeed.
Jackpots next week.
Oh, she's done.
Carrie and Tommy.
Around Australia for your Wednesday afternoon, it's Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little.
If you're living with a mental or physical illness of some form, I think you'll find this next chat fascinating. We're about to share with you an interview with Jamila Rizvi, who I used to work with on the project. She's an author, podcast presenter, public speaker. She's the Deputy Managing Director of Future Women, which is an incredible platform advocating for gender equity at at work. She's been named the Fin Review's 100 Women of Influence. She used to advise Kevin Rudd and Julia Gillard, the Prime Ministers.
It's a fair resume, isn't it? Because
yes, and
she's
her
pretty
life,
incredible.
she's incredible, and her life took a turn, and we got to know each other more when at 31 Jamila was diagnosed with a rare brain tumour. She's written a book with her friend Rosie Waterland, who has mental health issues.
Incredible
and she's
woman as
an
well.
Incredible woman as well.
Amazing writer.
And the book is called Broken Brains. Here is our chat with Jamila. How is your brain broken?
Whose brain
Are both
is more
brains broken?
How broken?
And how?
So Rosie and I are good mates. We've been mates for over 10 years now. She had a pretty rough childhood with parents who were drug addicts and who were not able to look after her and her sisters the way they needed to be. And she lives with PTSD and complex trauma as a result. So she's got the mental health broken brain.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know this well, Carrie, because you were one of the first people I called. About 7 years ago, I was very unexpectedly diagnosed with a rare kind of brain tumour. So I've got the physically broken brain.
Which I'm guessing leads to a bit of a mental broken brain at times as well due to the physicality of
It's amazing how the two go back and forth.
So the term broken
Yeah.
implies that it can't be fixed or even that it's bad. And even when you talk about Rosie and her upbringing, obviously it's not ideal for any child, and you wouldn't want that on any kid. But the result is a incredible woman with an amazing and unique perspective on life, who's very articulate and can make people feel things through the things she writes. Is it broken?
One of the reasons I liked the word broken is that one of the most common questions I get now, including from friends, people I haven't seen in a while, is they go, "Are you better now?" And it's because they maybe haven't heard from me in a while, or maybe haven't even seen me since I was unwell, but they've seen it in the media, and it's asked with the best of intentions. They really want me to say, yeah, I'm all fixed. Like I've come through the darkness of the brain tumours and the surgeries and the radiation and all the treatment, and now I'm fixed. And I'm not. You know, the reality is that when people cut open your head multiple times, there's damage that's done. It's damage that has to be done. It's not like anyone made a mistake. But that leaves a brain injury. And for me, those brain injuries are quite significant, and they're not going to be fixed in my lifetime. I hope in someone else's lifetime they've got cures and treatments for all of that. But for me, I'm not going to be fixed. And I think for Rosie, that's something she's also had to come to terms with, that she has to learn to manage her mental ill health, not cure it, because a cure is not going to happen.
So when you got diagnosed, and I remember seeing you very shortly after you were diagnosed, and everything that comes with that, the whirlwind that is the fear and the anticipation, what was some of those early days and months like for you? Obviously, we're sitting in front of you now and you seem happy and positive, but the person I saw on the day you were diagnosed was the complete opposite of that. What was that period of time like?
I think you might have seen us at the single worst point. Like literally that evening. It was about 4 days, I think, after I'd been diagnosed, and my husband and I had just seen a neurosurgeon for the first time, and we'd had to wait a few days to see a neurosurgeon. And the person we saw didn't have the bedside manner I think you would have hoped for someone in that situation. We waited for about an hour and a half, and when we went in, he said, "Oh, you're young people. Well, you've probably Googled everything already, so why don't you just ask me questions?" And like we'd been waiting for 4 days wondering if I was going to survive because a gynecologist had found this thing. She couldn't help me. We had all the questions in the world. We'd been trying not to Google because we thought that was what you weren't supposed to do. And he really scared us.
So then you see this guy and you go in and you didn't connect with him.
No.
But at that point, I'm assuming having been on this journey before, you're not going to start shopping around.
Do you know what? It didn't even occur to me.
I know, of course.
It genuinely, and I feel silly saying that, it didn't occur
No, I don't
me
think it would occur to a lot of people.
to see someone else.
No.
I don't know. Okay, again, I feel silly saying this now. I don't think I would have known where to start. Like, where do you find
Of
a
course.
neurosurgeon?
I know.
But also,
and
how
get
do you-
into them quickly.
And how do you Google good?
A good one.
research?
Yeah, I'd like a good one, please.
Yeah.
But that night, I remember we got home and I started talking to Jeremy, my husband, about what this was going to mean for him. And the first few days we'd been exclusively focused on me. And talking to him about that meant that we had to canvass the prospect of what would happen if I didn't survive. And I had this realisation of, he's going through something quite different to me. like it's we're going through this together, but what he's going through is different because he's thinking about a future where if the worst happens, he has to keep living, as opposed to me, who was imagining what would happen if I didn't get to. And so I called Carrie and said, you'd never met Jeremy at that point, and said, would you be okay if I introduced you? I think he needs to talk to someone who might understand. And it surprised no one that Carrie showed up on our doorstep about 15 minutes later. Probably broke some speeding records, I reckon.
I know.
That's how quickly you got there.
Poor Jeremy. I don't think he was necessarily in the headspace to receive a random person he'd never met in his lounge room. I always think back to that day and just think how much that would have been for him, just having some stranger in his living room.
I think it was the best thing that happened to us. We were definitely at our worst. And you were very kind and sort of supported us through the headspace that we were in, and you called Jeremy after you left and said, I don't know if this is my place, but I think you should see a different surgeon. And you made the introduction to the neurosurgeon who then operated on me twice and unquestionably saved my life the second time. Like another surgeon wouldn't have been able to do that surgery.
I remember when I spoke to him on the phone, and again, we can edit this bit out if it's too personal because it's obviously not his story, it's yours, but he didn't want to hear the idea of another surgeon and he felt very confident in the one that you had. And I think that's, again, because there's so many overwhelming things going on. When you've got one thing locked in, we've already got the surgeon. Please don't add another complication. We got that bit down. Yeah. And I said to him, like, it was quite an uncomfortable conversation. And then he then did call back. He did call that surgeon. It was late at night. And then he called back afterwards and he said, I'm so thankful I called that surgeon. And I think he said to me months later that, he apologised. And I said, you don't have to apologise. Like, we all show up when we're under pressure and in intense grief in different ways. But that was one of those calls that I almost didn't make because I thought, I'm overstepping here. I don't actually know. My gut was telling me, but also I don't know, Jeremy. And what if this means then that he shuts me out and doesn't allow me to communicate with you? Because there was so much going on. And I'm just so thankful that the surgeon was able to help you because he was amazing at the time and he knew how to, as you found out, he knew what to do.
Yeah. And I suspect in that moment, Jez was trying to give me as much certainty as I could have in an uncertain time. And so it was like, we've met this person.
Of course.
That person's the person. We're not disrupting anything.
It's also time, right? As in, like, you're in a state of panic and a state of shock. So even the idea of changing something which may be better prolongs it. And so you're like, no, we don't have time to, for want of a better word, around.
Yeah, 100%.
It was a fascinating and often very emotional chat that we had with Jamila about her book, Broken Brains. More with Jamila. It's up next.
Carrie and Tommy. Carrie and Tommy.
Across Australia for your Wednesday afternoon, it is Carrie, Bickmore and Tommy Little.
We are in the middle of an incredible chat with a woman called Jamila Rizvi. You may have seen her on The Project. She was a former advisor to the Prime Minister. And
isn't that amazing?
I know, it's incredible. And we've been speaking about what it's like to have broken brains, given she's just written a book called Broken Brains with her friend Rosie Waterland. Rosie has a huge number of mental health issues as a result of her childhood, and Jamila lives with having had a brain tumour 8 years ago now. And we're in the middle of a chat about what it's like to live with both of those conditions.
A lot of the stigma around mental health is that because it's not visible, often it's misunderstood. You've come from one side of the coin, which is physically you've had things cut out of your head.
Yeah.
And then Rosie is obviously from a very different perspective. What did you learn from her? Because there would be a big section of the population which I think understandably it doesn't mean it's right, but if they've been through something like what you've been through, would see someone with mental health problems and go, oh, please, I've had bits cut out of my brain. Like, don't talk to me. What did you learn?
I remember when we first started writing the book, Rosie said she felt an enormous amount of pressure because she felt like she had to prove that mental ill health could be as serious. I think once you read the book, I think I've had the easier run. There's no question. There is no question. And I don't think anyone who's ever had really significant mental ill health challenges would deny that I would have another 3 or 4 surgeries before I had to relive those few months before the first one. No question I would, because what my brain was doing to me from a mental health perspective, and the fear and it wasn't a life those few months. And I'm someone who has generally had quite good mental health, and so I hadn't experienced something like that before. And I hope I never have to go back there. That was awful. And the physical recoveries have been rubbish. Don't get me wrong, totally rubbish. Don't recommend having a brain tumour. But that was harder. And partly I think it was harder because I felt like I couldn't make anyone understand quite how hard it was. And, I've watched it through my working life, through my friends and family, to the point that I've said to people in my life when we've been worried about someone we love who's going through really serious period of mental illness, if you need to pretend that it's cancer to take it seriously, do that, because they deserve all the love and all the support in the world right now. And if you can't get your head to the point that this is as serious, then trick yourself, because the worst thing would be is if you can't give that person that support, because then they end up more alone. And it's only going to make the outcomes worse.
So I guess this question might be too simplistic, because it's a whole gamut of things we've talked about. But who is the book for, and what do you hope people get out of it?
I don't think it's simplistic at all, but I'm going to be simplistic in the answer and say it's kind of for everyone.
Yeah.
I wanted to write this book because I felt really lonely, really lonely during all different points of my illness, and I wanted to be there for people who were going through the same thing. But I also wanted everyone around them to understand, and Rosie wanted, I think, the same thing. So I hope it makes people who have been unwell with any kind of combination of illnesses to feel a bit more seen and a bit validated, and for the people who love them and care about them to understand it a bit better, because I think that's all anyone wants. And I think when you're unwell, there's just so much good intentions flying around from everyone, and yet a lot of the time we're working at cross purposes and we do silly things or say silly things or don't quite get it right. And so I hope this just creates a little bit more understanding.
And I hope people that read it also appreciate just how, and brave is a word thrown around a lot, but quite how brave it is to share your personal story publicly, because it is the most private pain anyone will ever experience, and now you're allowing other people to learn about it to make their world better. And I think it's a really hard thing to do, and I'm sure there's days where you're like, what have I done? And days where you're like, I'm glad I did this, and it's a roller coaster. So I think people need to think about that it's a really hard thing to put yourself out there when you read this. For you, everyone always talks about how when they get sick, it changes their outlook, it changes their, you were obviously incredibly professionally motivated before you got sick. You had a little boy and everything. You had, family plans and everything. Has it given you some new profound outlook on life, or is it just changed things in a small? Is it that profound moment that you expected it to be, or has it changed it in other ways?
I don't think I've had some profound moment. I don't think I became a better person, or I'm not giving more to charity. I'm not doing the right things, guys. No, that's I don't think I did. You know how people talk about that experience of they get given a diagnosis and they're like, I'm going to quit my job and go and live on a desert island and do that. I think what I realized was, oh my God, I had it really good.
Yeah.
I just had this obsession with, I just want to live this life. I've got a really good one. I have lucked out, and I just want to be here and doing the work that I'm doing and married to Jeremy and bringing up Ruffy, and I just want to be around for that, and I don't need anything else. I don't need to change anything. I just want to keep getting to do it. And I still feel grateful is not quite the right word, I think, but I still feel almost like disbelieving that so far so good, and we're pulling it off, because I remember the night before going into hospital and sleeping with Ruffy, who was 2, on the couch, and just I'm not religious, but just thinking like I will do anything just to be here to watch him grow up. And, he'll be 10 in a month. And so I'm here for a lot of it.
Thank you.
No, thank you for having me. Thank
You're
you for
an
everything.
absolute wonderful human.
Yeah.
So are you. I would not be here without you.
It was a very emotional chat. I was expecting to have that conversation with Jamila. In fact, the whole conversation went for half an hour and we didn't get a chance to air all of it today, obviously, because of the nature of our show. But I implore you to go and listen to the full chat on our podcast. We've put it up there. She speaks more in depth about the diagnosis, the treatment that she went through, how it infected her family life, her self-image and battles with eating disorder. She even speaks about needing to get a nose job for a reconstruction based on some of the treatments that she had and an injury that she acquired courtesy of her beautiful little boy while she was undergoing the treatment. It was an incredible chat, and we don't often put up a full chat on our podcast, and this is one where I really think you'll love listening to. She's an incredible woman.
Carrie and Tommy.
The Cowboy Carter tour has begun. Beyonce's on the road.
That's
Opening
exciting.
nights happened in California. Is she coming here? She's not announced it. Do you think she will come down here? No.
Why not?
Too far.
But everyone else is coming. Gaga's coming.
Yeah.
Taylor came.
Gaga's going to Asia.
So they go to Asia and then they come down.
But why can't Beyonce do that? Anyway, sorry, you're not the booker.
Is Beyonce
I
not
do
big in
understand.
Asia?
Everyone's
Sorry,
big in Asia.
we should just get you on a mic.
I'm just getting the mic.
Yeah. Can we get big in Asia?
Beyonce has really large-scale tours. Is this mic on?
Yeah.
Beyonce has really large-scale tours, and it requires a lot of equipment. So shipping all of this stuff down here costs them so much money. So and
Unless
also,
they're coming this way for someone else, they're not just going to come for
and
Australia.
also timing-wise, if she was to come down here, it's normally when we have the cricket on, the MCG is occupied, so she's not going to come down here and do a small venue. It would have to be something grand scale so that she can recuperate the money.
Imagine seeing Beyonce just down at the pub. Just playing
I
a
don't reckon
400
Beyonce goes to a pub.
You don't reckon?
No.
I reckon she'd be fun.
Yeah, I think she'd be fun, but I just don't reckon she'd go to a pub.
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound fun to me.
Nah, you can go to other places and enjoy yourself that aren't a pub.
But if you have a rule of no pubs, you're not fun.
I don't go to a pub very often.
Yeah.
They're called bars in America.
Saloons for Cowboy Carter.
No,
Anyway.
pubs are different to bars.
In America?
In everywhere.
Oh, okay.
I would say bars serve cocktails and pubs are just beers
But in
on
America?
tap. I'm making the bold claim everywhere.
You are. Anyway, we've seen Blue Ivy get up on stage before with Beyonce, but it's the first time we've seen Rumi, who is 7, join her on stage. I've seen some vision. Gosh, Blue Ivy, she's 13 now. I think she's almost taller than Beyonce. But anyway, they get up and they perform together Protector, which is a song from her Cowboy Carter album, and it's all about motherhood. And the actual song, when you hear it, begins with Rumi saying, "Mum, can I hear the lullaby, please?" And it's obviously something that her mum's filmed on her phone.
cute.
And this is the beginning of the song.
Can I hear the lullaby?
Lullaby. And so
It's
she
so
brought
funny.
her daughter on stage and performed Protector Live. And
so-
she's there waving at the audience.
It's so funny, like staging, getting your kid to request a song and then just breaking into it.
Should we get a bit of Beyonce on now?
Yeah.
Carrie and Tommy.
Around Australia for your Wednesday afternoon, it is Carrie, Bickmore and Tommy Little.
You know when people just start mentioning somebody's name that you haven't heard in a while and it's all anyone mentioned, then you just keep hearing the name in conversation? All I hear at the moment is JoJo Siwa. I don't know what she's done. I don't think I really know who she is, but
Well, she's
everybody
just
is
broken
talking
up
about
with
JoJo Siwa.
She's just broken up with an Aussie.
But who is she?
She was just out here doing shows. Yeah,
Was she the bow chick?
bow chick? What's
The girl
bow
with the
chick?
bows, JoJo's bows. I feel like that's where I know. We've got. I reckon this is the most
all the young
interested our
people have come
entire
in. Yes.
producing team have ever been about anything we've ever done. They've all stepped up to the mic because they're all talking about JoJo Siwa. Is she the bow girl?
She is the bow girl. So JoJo Siwa got her start on, I don't know if you know the show Dance Mums, but it was a reality TV show. You do?
I watch every season. Obviously.
Dance Mums was a reality TV show where you just followed a dance school led by this lady named Abby Miller, who was a bit strict on the girls. And JoJo Siwa was one of the students. Maddie Ziegler came off of that show as well. She was the girl that danced in all of the Sia music videos. So they've actually had
the
quite
young
a bit.
girl.
Yes.
Oh.
So there's actually been some success that's come out of that show. Anyway, so JoJo Siwa, she started on that.
How old
And
is she now?
So how old? Sorry, how?
Sorry, did she then go and have her own music and stuff?
Yes, and she had a monopoly on that young audience. So like her video Boomerang, her music video Boomerang on YouTube has gotten over 1 billion views.
Oh my God.
JoJo Siwa had a huge success. But much like a lot of the child stars, like your Miley Cyruses or even Britney's, who like started off on their Disneys and Nickelodeons,
yes.
she also wanted to transition to a more adult audience. And this is where the controversy first starts. So when JoJo was making that transition, she started doing dramatic makeup, and she had also come out and she's actually identified now as a lesbian, which as I'm
Is some of her stuff quite racy? I feel like my daughter saw some image of her and she said, that's JoJo, the Bow Girl. And I said, no, I don't think that is. And she says, it is, Mum. And I was confused because I hadn't followed her journey.
Yeah, so a lot of the controversy comes with that because her first debut single into this adult world was a song called Karma. And this track, I don't know if you've heard it. And in the music video, she's hypersexualized, and it just came across as very disingenuous and cringe because every time that she was speaking to any reporter about this new transformation that she's made, she seemed to take a lot of credit for revolutionizing the pop genre when, in fact, she seemed quite ignorant because there were so many others paving the way before her. Like, this is a little snippet from an interview that she had on the red carpet.
Here's my thing. This moment of making it very clear that we are going from child star to adult artist is very important to me. No one has made, in my generation, this extreme of a switch. And I am the first in the generation. It is very scary, but someone's got to do it.
But is she the first in her? Because how old is she?
No, Zoe's unhappy.
So who's the other one in her
she
generation?
coined herself the CEO of gay pop. Excuse me?
Also, I mean, she also referred to herself as a child star, and then I find it hard when anyone
But
calls
also, it
herself
must
a
be
star.
so hard to go from a child star to
It is.
wanting to be
She's
taken
incredibly cringe, though.
seriously.
So at that point, she started incorporating the word generation because prior to that, she was taking credit for it in general.
Oh. But why are people talking about it at her?
She's on Celebrity Big Brother over in the UK.
Yes.
Oh,
So she just came out of Celebrity Big Brother.
And
while
there was
she,
that other guy, Rourke.
Mickey
Rourke. Yeah. So while she was on that show, there was already like public disdain towards her. People did not really think highly of JoJo. However, she redeemed herself on this show.
Right.
Because she actually had a bit of a conversation with Mickey Rourke where there was a bit of a conflict as he was using some disparaging comments to speak about her sexuality.
He got kicked out of the house.
He got kicked out of the house.
He said really homophobic stuff and got booted.
Exactly.
What's he from?
Mickey Rourke is famous for becoming an alcoholic because he was a method actor and he did a role playing an alcoholic and then couldn't kick the habit and so disappeared for like 20 years and then came back and did The Wrestler. It was like the big
It was his big comeback, an excellent role for him as well because he was phenomenal in it. However, as a person, it seems like he's actually quite awful.
Right.
So anyway, he gets booted from the house and there's a lot of public favour towards JoJo. However, when JoJo comes out of the show and at the wrap-up party, within an hour of the wrap-up party, her girlfriend has flown over to the UK to celebrate. JoJo Siwa breaks it off with them. It's one of G Flip's friends. G Flip had introduced them.
Why has she broken it up?
Because JoJo met someone. JoJo met someone else in the house.
Zoe, step up to the mic. Who did she meet in the house?
Okay, well, I'm speculating, but so is the entire world. So she went into this house, and Chris Hughes, who was on Love Island, is in there, and they got very close very quickly. But people started speculating, this is a little bit too close. Very touchy, back scratches, cuddling each other to sleep sort of thing. And of course, there's no communication with the people in the house. So JoJo's girlfriend, Kath Ebbs, back here in Australia, they were just sitting at home watching this all unfold. And they were backing JoJo up going, it's all okay.
Imagine watching that on TV.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And they were saying, no, I trust her. Like, we're very solid. We're great. Kath flew over for the rap party, and at the rap party, JoJo dumped Kath.
Oh, I'm off her.
Yeah, I'm well and truly off her. Big Brother was her redemption arc, and she's cooked.
So what's happened with the Chris and her since leaving?
They've done a bit of PR since leaving, and they're standing by the fact that they're purely platonic.
Right.
The effect she had on Mickey Rourke was phenomenal.
She was amazing.
I saw an interview with Mickey Rourke when he got off the plane and got back to America. And there's heaps that happens in the interview. One, a paparazzi, because Mickey Rourke's a hot mess, a paparazzi gets hit by a bus. There's heaps going on. But they asked him about JoJo Siwa. And, I mean, look at the impression she left.
What would you say to JoJo Siwa? Do you have any comments for JoJo? Who's that? She was on the show with you, JoJo Siwa.
Oh my God! Is that the bus hitting the?
But also, he said, "Who's that?" He was like, and he didn't remember anyone that was in the house.
Was he just being like smart,
No,
like
he's
going,
not
"Oh, who's that?" Or he's not well.
He's
Okay.
not well. Sorry.
Anyway, JoJo Siwa, everybody.
Follow Carrie Bickmore and Tommy Little on socials at Carrie Tommy Show.
Bye.
Bye. Carrie and Tommy love a good deal, and CommBank Yellow has plenty. Cashbacks, discounts, and exclusive deals. Just for banking with CommBank. Say hello to CommBank Yellow today.